welcome back to my channel Illustrator. I am Tor and today we're just gonna jump straight into it like we usually do. So I have pulled out some different fabrics and things. Well, it's felt, let's be real. And I bought a whole bunch in Tina and Tango colours because I wanted to have a go actually making them 3D into some kind of puppet or teddy or something, finger puppet, something. So with that in mind, I picked out the Tina ones because I was mostly interested in creating Tina because she was my first OC, she was my baby. And for any of you guys who do not know, Tina is a little purple mouse and she started in the early 2012-ish in development, and she's been sort of hitting through different parts of my life for the last few years and really has sort of taken hold of my heart in the last 3 years. And I've kind of been a little bit shy with her and eventually got her out onto, well, YouTube and Instagram, and yeah, you can see her around because she's my little lady. And a little bit of backstory for you about her is she loves to live in and underneath blackberry bushes because she loves blackberries. And yeah, there'll be more Tina and Tango information heading your way shortly. So in creating Tina, I decided to use some very old skills, and I must confess they are very old skills. I did do textiles at school back in the day when we had to choose them for GCSEs, and I did get a B+, but yeah, seems I've got a little bit rusty. So I ended up making up the pattern as I went because felt quite an easy fabric to work with. It doesn't really fray unless you really mess up your stitching, you know. So it was quite easy to try and work out the net because I've done graphic design and packaging design and that kind of thing also in the past. I was sort of marrying up those two different past skills and trying to make a 3D actual tactile object. So I started out with Tina's ears. They were quite simple, to be honest. It was a basic circle for the back, that was nice, and then like crescent moon shapes for the sides where she has more fleshy purple bits with the little inner purple part where it's a little bit more delicate, and the top and the back of her head, that was more difficult. I did do a few different nets and it ended up looking a little bit like a bulb actually, the paper part of the net, with a couple of slits to make darting, which is where you pull in the material to make a shape. It's also how dressmakers make bust areas in your dresses and things. So if you've got a dress, ladies, and you notice some darting down the side of some like seams down the side, maybe one or two depending on how fitted your dress is, that's why. It helps create the shape that, you know, says, "Ooh, I'm a lady," and in other textiles to create other shapes like I'm doing. You guys might have also noticed that I've been using pipe cleaners. That's because I also wanted to be able to animate Tina. I don't mean like I want to make animation videos stop motion style or anything. I just wanted to be able to pose her, you know. So I like to draw her and I use her ears as quite an expressionate part of her. If she's sad, I draw down. If she's curious or not sure, her ears are cocked. You know, happy or intelligent, they're right up and interested. I think that they really help convey Tina's emotion, and I wanted to be able to put that into the little felt Tina. And yes, I was definitely shooting way too high when I was trying to create this and pull things from my head. I really should have made nets before I started sewing, but I just thought that it was going to be relatively quick and simple, and oh boy did I totally misunderstand how much time was going to be needed for this. And the one thing I really did not want to do was rush. So I decided to take my time and make sure it was done okay. So if you guys are curious, it took me a day and a half of trial and error with different shapes and things. So once I'd finished the two ears, you might have also noticed that I curled the little pipe cleaner into like a circle and put it into one ear so you can pose it and things. And then threaded it through, leaving a little bit for the top of the head, and then do the same on the other side and cutting away the remainder. I then finished off creating the head, and the eyes were actually really difficult because I didn't know how to make them, because the smaller they were getting, the more detail in a very small space it was getting, and it's again something that I am not greatly familiar with, so I was kind of rolling with it. Oh yeah, that was interesting. I was worried that she was gonna look a little bit wonky at one stage, but I thought I'd just persevere and see where we go, and even if it was a complete fail, at least I've tried to do something that is completely not my normal everyday thing that I usually do, because I wanted to have that chance to play with the different things that I've got lying around my office, you know. It's quite good. Have you guys ever just had a day where you've been like, right, I want to do this and I'm just gonna go for it? Well, that's exactly what I was doing here. I was just having a random tour moment, you know? And I would love to know if you guys have had a day where you just wanted to do something that's really out of the blue and then just gone ahead and done it on a whim. That would be brilliant, so I don't feel so alone. So if you have had a moment like that, please feel free to comment in the section below to let me know that I'm not alone in just following my whims on my days off. I mean, why not, eh? If we're gonna have a day off and it's completely free, throw the washing in the washing machine and carry on, you know? Then that technically counts as, you know, multitasking, doesn't it? It does, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I've got to say here, I did lose a little bit of footage towards the end of this. Yeah, I had a bit of problems with one of my memory cards. Seems that a problem that I used to have, I fixed it once. Well, it's come back and I can't actually seem to fix it now. So it might be time to just sort of call it quits with that memory card and just live with a one or get another one to replace it. I don't know. So the idea of putting the jumping back, to the ears and the pipe cleaner, I wanted to be able to move the entire body in the end. At this point I was like, well, I've done the ears, I may as well continue with the rest of the body. Yeah, sure, your task wasn't big enough anyway, Tor, let's make it harder. So you can see I put a pipe cleaner in her head and attached it through the top, and here we have actually jumped. You can see she's looking a little bit rustic, shall we say. And I've managed to put pipe cleaners inside her body and then a couple sticking out for arms and legs, which, don't worry, we're covering, we're not leaving her like that. That's what I'm working on right now. So I made kind of like gloves for the pipe cleaners basically, and I basically put those on the top just as if she's wearing gloves, and sewed those into place, and also made little feeties, and I couldn't resist and put like a little pad paw on the bottom of the feet, so when she lifts her foot you can see the little paw underneath. That was just that was a last minute thought, if I'm honest, and it's so cute. I'm very proud of myself for thinking of the little things and actually having a go at doing it. Yeah, and then as a last minute thought, actually the tail I wasn't going to do as I did later, because I was just going to put a loose piece of fabric on, so it's like just floppy, and I was like, no, I want to pose it, so it ended up being a fully posable figurine. So if you liked this completely out of the blue and quite random video from me, please remember to give it a nice big thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. I will be back to doing what I would consider my normal stuff next week. It will be the PPC this time. I've decided just to push it on a week and have it the first Monday of each month, because I'm switching my videos back to Mondays because it just felt nicer for me to create. Please also remember to hit the subscribe button to join the Arty Party family, and also don't forget the little notification bell to keep in the arty loop. Considering I haven't used a lot of these skills for a long time, she didn't end up looking too bad. yeah, filming this was actually really hard. I didn't know what angle to do and the lighting kept changing, so I hope it ended up being good. It doesn't look too bad in the editing back, so hopefully you've liked it. I'm really quite proud of her. What do you guys think? Do you think I did a good job? Oh, it's like she's waving at us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys!